Good evening, everyone. I'm Dr. Layla Haishaw, the proud founder of Diversity in Dentistry Mentorships, and we are working so hard by bringing dental students and pre-dental students together into the community with dentists who are here to champion for you to achieve your goals, your dreams, and bring you into the profession because we need you. But we want to make it easy for you, and we do that through mentorship. We have some amazing mentors, and one of our top mentors who cares so much for his mentees and gives so much of his time and just a light that just shines, that really paves the way and shines a light on the path to help you to succeed. And that's one and only Dr. Joshua Golden. It says it in his name, shining like a golden light. He's loved by so many, but I just wanted a chance to let you know just how awesome he is. So I want to share that he is born and raised in Miami, Florida. He obtained his dental degree from, show it out, Dr. Golden. Where did you get your dental degree?
USC. Tonight we're
Yes.
celebrating USC, everybody. USC, Southern California.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
this nigga. Bro, I used to that school. What do you want?
So fun. But had a pit stop, right, in New York City for a GPR residency at Montefiore Hospital. Now, Dr. Golden's primary focus is transforming lives by transforming smiles as the owner dentist of West Sunrise Dentistry. So he does not only does his work stay within the four walls of his clinic, he extends his time and that servanthood leadership in the community, as well as here at Diversity in Dentistry as one of our advisory board council members, his own foundation, the Golden Foundation, and serves as a trustee with the National Dental Association. That's just the highlights. There's more. I'm sure we'll get into it, but make sure you're following him at the Golden Dentist. And when I reached out to him and said, we need a facilitator, we really want to reach our mentees. Could you help? He said, I got you, Layla. And he has a few of his mentees here to share about what is that secret formula that makes a mentorship relationship go beyond being just transactional to being more relational and making it more transformative. So I will turn it over to you, Dr. Golden, and thank you all for joining us. We're so glad you are here.
All right, first things first. If you are not one of my panelists, please mute yourself. We will be going around muting people. Luma, if you can help me with that.
Yeah, we're working on that right now.
I am doing that.
Thank you. I appreciate you trying to be a part of our program and watch TV, but it only can be one tonight, and I'm going to be that winner. Super excited to be here. When, like Dr. Haishaw said, when asked, I jumped at the opportunity, and then when we decided on the topic mentorship, I couldn't wait to be here and do this tonight. I know it's sometimes really awkward for people to walk up to docs or just anybody in general to try to find a mentor and ask them to be a mentor. So we're going to kind of talk about those type of things, how to build the relationships. And honestly, this is going to be an extremely fun, interactive panel tonight. Again, enough about me. Let's get the people you came here for. We're going to go ahead and start off with my panelists. Since we have two ladies and a gentleman, I'm going to do this a little backwards. I'm going to let the gentleman go first today, bud, because we need more men in dentistry. Dr. Johnson, can you please introduce yourself, and then we'll let the ladies close us out. Go ahead.
Yo, what's good, everybody? Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. My name is Jaylon Johnson. I'm from Augusta, Georgia. I went to the Morehouse College for undergrad, no shade to USC. I did a master's program at Barry University, and now I'm a third-year dental student at Tufts. Thank y'all for having me on the panel, and I'm looking forward to sharing whatever wisdom I have. So that's my little intro.
All right, Asha, you're next.
Hi, guys. My name is Asha. I'm originally from Atlanta, Georgia. I graduated from Howard University, and I'm currently a third year at USC. So fight on with Dr. Golden. And I'm so excited to get to know you all and share some advice.
All right, and rounding us out, our baby of our crew, Ashley.
Hi, everyone. My name is Ashley Lynn. I'm from Detroit, Michigan. I graduated from Oakland University with my bachelor's and my master's in biology. I'm on the pre-dental route. Hopefully I can be soon like student Dr. Johnson and student Dr. Asher. So please, I'm waiting. But yeah, I'm glad to be here and thank you for this opportunity. And I'm hoping to be able to help someone today.
All right. So with that personality, those brains, you're gonna be there. We got you. We got you. So let's be honest. My mentees, 3 of you here, how tough is it to find a mentor? Be honest.
I can pop it off. I feel like it is tough, but on the same token, it depends on like how willing and do you want to go the extra mile to find a mentor, right? So for instance, for Dr. Golden, I was following Dr. Golden for a little minute and I saw, the work that he was doing and I saw myself in him. So I felt like, obviously there was some type of alignment there. And I said, I don't care what it takes. I'm gonna do what I need to do to reach out to him. And I went out my way, reached out to him. We had an hour and 30-minute phone call. And from that hour and 30 minutes, he's my mentor, you know what I'm saying? And I think it is tough, like I said, but you have to be willing to go the extra mile. One thing that I will say that Dr. Golden did, I feel like a lot of mentors should do is extend yourself. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are busy, but on the same token, he told me, since you want to be my mentor, because I asked him, since you want to be my mentee, now I'm gonna be on your butt. So make sure, you know what I'm saying, you don't let me down. And I said, all right, got you. So that's my little spiel. I feel like it's hard, but you have to go the extra.
Ladies, anybody want to jump in?
Yeah, I feel like we honestly got really lucky with Dr. Golden because kind of like Dr. Johnson said, like he would just reach out and like make it easy to talk to. I feel like before there are different challenges, which I know we'll get into because everyone in the field is so busy, like whether you're applying to dental school, you're in dental school or a doctor already. So I agree. You just have to stay like persistent and like find somebody that kind of connects with you. I know I even like talked to Dr. here, who's not officially my mentor yet, but about NHSC, I just saw her on Instagram and we talked off having the same scholarship and same thing. We talked for like an hour and she gave me a bunch of advice. Dr. Golden will check in. He's like, I know you're busy in school. And, mentors along the way that I've had, it depends. I'll either have to blow them up all the time or, they'll have their relationship with you where they'll reach out. So it's just like any friend or anything else. You have to kind of feel our business partner, coworker, like feel out their personality and kind of follow what they give you so you can have the best relationship.
And it's not really hard to find a mentor, honestly. Like there is so many resources out here. I was like fortunate enough to be a part of Dr. Highshaw's program, which is called Diversity in Dentistry. And being a part of her program allowed me the opportunity to network with other mentors. And I saw Dr. Golden on Instagram. I was like, oh my gosh, like this guy is so cool. He had everything I wanted. And I want to be a dentist. I think I want to be a general dentist. But he exhibited everything that I was looking for. So I was like, oh my gosh, I need to connect with him. And later on during one of Dr. Highshaw's sessions, which was a goal setting session, I was matched with Dr. Golden. And since that day, we were locked in, y'all, like locked in. And it has been truly a blessing having him as a mentor. And just like student Dr. Jaylon said, he will be on your butt. Like he does not play, like he is about his mentee's business. So if you tell him what your goals are in life, he's going to get you there.
Awesome. So yes, I will be a little tough on you, but everybody's personality is different. Just working with the 3 of you, oh my God, night and day sometimes. Like Asha, I can give you a little time, let you disappear for a while, but Ashley, I cannot let you do that. I gotta rein you in probably once a week. Jaylon, me and you have our cadence, but everyone is different. For you guys, let the audience know what type of mentoring style do you prefer? Do you like the formal setup? Do you like informal? Or one of my least favorite is group mentoring, and I'll talk about that after you finish. Go for it.
I think a good mix of both for me helps. Like, I definitely appreciate like holding us accountable, like you do, Dr. Golden, like somebody that's going to stay on me, because the reality is dentistry is not easy. Like getting into school, being a dentist, getting through dental school. So you don't want somebody that's just like, it's all good. But like on those hard days, you do want someone that's like, it's going to work out, like, because it does in the end, as long as you work hard. So I think it's finding a balance of somebody who is committed and like really like knowledgeable about the field, especially like Dr. Golden is, and like in a lot of different aspects. Like I love that he's in mentorship, service, you know, reaching back to the community, and also a good dentist. So yeah, you just want to, for me, I like a mix of both. I don't want it to be like real rigid, and I don't want it to be like too free flowing either.
Jaylon?
Yeah, I 100% agree. I hate the type of people who micromanage you or who always like or point out the negative aspects of whatever you're trying to do. I think my favorite style of mentorship is somebody who's very laid back, but also won't let you slack off at all. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that makes sense. It makes sense to me. But like for instance, like I said, I can always go back to Dr. Golden. He'll make sure he tells me something, and I'll definitely follow through with it, and then he'll backtrack and make sure I do it. You know what I'm saying? He's not always texting me every day like, hey, did you do this? Did you do that? He gives me, what I'm saying, the freedom to know that he trusts me enough to know that I'm gonna get it done. I think like even when I open my own practice one day, how I want to work with my staff is the same way I want mentorship to work with me. I'm a trust in you to make sure that you're gonna do whatever you say you're gonna do. Just don't slack off to the point where now you're tarnishing not only your name but our name, because now you're a representation of me.
All right, Ashley?
Yeah, so my mentors, like my style will be, I would say one-on-one, just simply for the fact that you really get to like connect with your mentor. They get to know you, you get to plan, set goals, establish what you're actually looking for. And then your mentor is able to like help you get to that next level. So, you're just setting goals and being realistic with yourself and your expectations.
All right, and then as promised, group mentoring. I'm fine with it to start with. That's actually how we met Ashley. We had a group setting where we're doing our goals, but most of the time when you do like group mentoring, people can hide. And when students hide, you can't really get a feel for them, and it's very tough for us to get anything accomplished. I'm truly a huge fan of one-on-one. And like Jaylon said, I'm a mix of that formal, informal. It's all about free flowing and learning our mentee style. I think back to another mentee that I have. She'll be fine with me doing this, Octavia. So Dr. Octavia, when you see her, she gives off the persona of the Southern Belle, really sweet. And when I first started working with her, I was, kind of being super nice and, sweet and gentle. She is not that. She is a beast. Like, she's one of those people that you have to be like, let's go, let's get this done, super high strong. And once I learned that style about her, our relationship just skyrocketed. And it takes time to fill out that whole mentor mentee relationship. So, Jaylon, I'll ask you this. When you think of other mentors you've had, how long do you think it will take for you to make that connection?
I might be a little different. I feel like I can tell in 5 minutes if we're gonna get along or not. That's just me personally. And even to piggyback off of the group mentoring, I think I personally I'm not really a fan of it because I also feel like well, maybe I could be now, but in undergrad, I feel like people didn't understand that we're on this journey together. So when you're group mentoring, y'all obviously have some of the same goals and aspirations, and people look at it more so as competition and realizing we're on this journey together. So like in dentistry, right? If you are going to do group dentistry, realize that, I mean, not group dentistry, if you want to all go into dentistry, it's enough food on the table for everybody to eat. We don't have to compete. It's friendly competition, but just know that there is if you don't get in this year, then you the worst. No, we're gonna help you get there. So Ashley, like for you, like you're a mentor, a mentee of Dr. Golden, and we're gonna be here for you as well. It's not like we're trying to hold you back or anything. So I hope that makes sense. That's how I look at it.
Perfect. Ashley, go for it. Is it like a year, a month? What's that time frame like? What do you think?
Okay, so I would say I've been blessed, like I've truly been blessed with the opportunity to have great mentors in my life. And I think it's really
Sorry, Ashley, you're muted.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm so sorry. But yes, so I've been blessed with the opportunity to have very great mentors in my life. And with that being said, I feel like it's very important that you qualify the person that you want, especially someone that you want in your circle. So for me, just like student Dr. Jaylon said, it's like you can read somebody very quickly. Like you will know, like, okay, this is for me or this isn't for me. And I'm blessed enough to have all my mentors in my life that have been for me and that want me to succeed, just like Dr. Golden. So thank you.
Awesome. So we're gonna go ahead and switch speeds a little bit. So we're talking all fuzzy, warm and fuzzy stuff, but there are times where we have the mentor-mentee relationship and our mentor is not responding or our mentee's not responding. Asha, what do you do when you have that mentor that you've been just dying to have and they're ghosting you? What are some of the things you can do?
Well, like anything in life, being ghosted is not fun. But I think the unique part about dentistry is, I give it some time because, again, like everyone is so busy. And I think when I was a pre-dent, especially, I was just like, why won't they answer? Like, just looking at them on Instagram, living their life and, just getting frustrated because I'm like, I know you're on Instagram, but now that I'm in dental school, I'm like, okay, I get it. Like sometimes at the end of a long day, I don't even want to look at my DMs, and that's for my friends and family, let alone other people. So it is those people that like maybe pop up once or twice. And I'm like, oh yeah, it kind of like reminds me that they have DM me a few times, or, same thing. I would just like, okay, maybe once a month, every 2 weeks, just kind of like put it in my planner because I'm a planner girly to just reach back out. And sometimes the opportunity will present itself when you least expect it. It could be like a month later. They're like, oh, sorry, I just saw your DM. But it just depends. And if it takes a really long time, just move on. But like, stay open. If it's someone like you really want, just like anything else in life, just stay persistent and go after it. And try their email too, like their business email. Like if it's not working on Instagram, call the office, send an email to the office front desk because maybe they could be like, hey, this person wants to reach out. There's different ways, like get creative.
Ashley?
Yes, so just like student Dr. Asha said, ghosting is not fun at all. But I guess it depends on how bad you want that person in your life. For example, if I lived in Florida with Dr. Golden and I saw everything he was doing and he embodied what I want to do in the future, I would definitely go to his office. Like, but not on like a stalker type crazy stuff, guys. Like, I would just go there and say, like, hi, my name is Ashley. I really like what you've been doing with the community. I really like what you exhibit. How can I be a part of this? Like, how can you help me become who you are today? How can you how can you help me get to the next level in my life? So, but, also, once again, read the room. Okay. So, like, if you reached out a couple times, don't be crazy stalker-ish and just show up and be like, hey, where you been? I called you. I messaged you. I DM'd you. Like, just know yourself, know the boundaries.
All right, this is the fun part now. Dr. Darwin, we got a superstar in the building. I know you have a whole bunch of mentees. What do you do when those mentees just disappear? And I mean, not for like a month, I mean 6 to 9 months just disappear on you. And then they show back up. What do you do in those situations?
Bye, Felicia. I mean, listen, you can't help people that don't want to be helped.
I hear that, Doc.
I mean, you start off with that. Like, I mean,
Okay.
yes, there is some recourse and you try to reconnect with people, but I mean,
You're busy. You're a busy, Doc. You got a whole bunch of things going on.
but not even that. But not even that. It's just that you can't make people want to connect and talk with you, regardless. I mean, we're all busy, students, mentees, mentors, people. dentists, we're all busy. So we make time for the things that we want to make time for, which we do. However, when there's always a issue or a challenge on getting on a meeting or getting on a call with a mentee, with your mentor, after so many attempts, it's like, maybe this is not the right fit. So when it's time, it'll be time, right? You circle back, or they will circle back, and it's like, okay, let's get it. Let's dive in, because there's a reason why you're reaching out for help or not reaching out for help. So when it's time, it's time. So, you have to have patience as a mentor and as a mentee, right? Very key.
I hear that. And then Dr. Highshaw, you knew I was coming to you last but not least. You get students who want letters of recommendation. They're just constantly just all in your face, just bothering you, just here, doc, hey, doc, and then boom, disappear. And then they reappear when the application cycle.
You're not even gonna care. That's the sad part.
Go
I
for
didn't
it.
even
Doc.
say that, but it flowed right in. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I got interrupted there. But yeah, well, I mean, you have a question of, should I haven't really been in contact with my mentor. I wonder if she's gonna write me a recommendation letter. If you have to question that, then you're probably right. We're not going to be able to give you a strong recommendation letter if I can't say if it's seen your growth, and I can't see growth, and won't have that constant communication. And I get it, I think in everything is just, if something's coming up and it's a time that you just need to take a pause, something's going on personally, just communicate with your mentor. Remember, we're all here. We will succeed, but you just have to let us know, because otherwise we'll make the assumption that you just don't care and you've moved on to do something else. So just keep the lines of communication open.
Love it. Love it. All right, let's go back to the warm and fuzzy stuff. I know that was kind of deep and kind of scary. Ashley, what are some of the traits that you look for when you're trying to find the perfect mentor?
So basically, like when I was in the pursuit of looking for a mentor for dentistry, I made sure that that person embodied exactly what I wanted to be as a general dentist. So for example, I wanted someone that was compassionate, someone that was understanding, someone that was like willing to help, willing to listen. Um, but I was also looking for someone that could be like a coach to me, like that could coach me through, help me, guide me, like a counselor as well, that can give me advice, especially like for critical, like thinking situations, like, where should I apply to dental school? Do you think I should do a post-bac or a master's program? And then I was also looking for someone that would like promote me. And I feel like Dr. Golden does a really good job with that. I don't know how many pre-dents we have in the room today. But from a pre-dent standpoint, sometimes it can be very challenging, especially like when we're going through that DAT phase. And sometimes you just like get those like scores or your practice scores, and you're like, man, like I've been doing all this studying, but like I'm still not hitting that score that I want. And I feel like that's sometimes when a mentor can come in and they can help you and they can promote you and they make you feel better. Like when I'm studying for the DAT, sometimes like it's days where I'm just like, man, why am I doing this? And I'll just like, send Dr. Golden a message and he'll say, hey, I'm going to call you when I get off of work. And then he speaks so much words of wisdom and he helps me. And then, I look in the mirror and I'm like, all right, doc, you got this. And I'm speaking to my future self, like the future Dr. Lynn. So all my pre-dents, just definitely, I'm sorry, Dr. Golden, I know I'm talking too much, but I just want to say like to my pre-dents, like y'all just stick in there, like don't give up and please get a mentor, because on those, like the days that you feel down, is when your mentor is going to step up and then help carry you up as well.
Love it. And no, you're never talking too much because you're dropping gems, and I can see it's connecting with our audience. So keep it up. Keep it up. All right, Asha, go ahead. What you got for me? What traits are you looking for?
I agree. I think the best advice I ever got about like mentorship, and sometimes you're lucky to get that all in one, and sometimes you'll have multiple, but you need like someone who's a little bit more pessimistic, someone who's a cheerleader, and then someone in between. So when you know that it's those days you've like hit rock bottom and all you need is some encouragement, you don't want to call your mentor that's like, you need to study harder, because it's like it's going to discourage you, right? And then those days that you need somebody to like tell you to push it a little bit more because you haven't studied in 2 weeks, then you're like, okay, maybe I need to call my pessimist neighbor. Or if I'm going to apply with a 13 DAT, like I need someone that's like, you're going to waste thousands of dollars doing that, and then maybe someone in between who's like, you might be pushing it. There's maybe 3 people that got into dental school with a 13, just like based off yourself, because we are so dynamic in how we feel, and going through this journey can bring a whirlwind of emotions, and you don't want to have just like one type of mentor. So somebody that's dynamic, I think I would like to have all of that in one person, but maybe two, maybe my pessimistic, mentor is tired of me, and then maybe my jolly one needs a break from being so happy. So yeah, I think it's good to have a balance of mentorship and somebody ultimately of all 3 of those that has your best interest, because unfortunately there are people out there that do take on mentorship for their own ego and self-benefit instead of like really like putting their work into you and being a mentor. So you want to make sure they're committed. No matter if they're negative, it shouldn't be someone that's always putting you down more than like giving you the other side. Somebody positive, not giving you unrealistic expectations, and someone in the middle that's really a good balance. So yeah.
That is a word. Well said. Very well said. Sorry, Jaylon, she just bumped you out, so I'm going to have to go to another area. Dr. Hare, what are you looking for? Yeah, I got you. I see you over there. What are you looking for in a mentee?
Wow, greetings everyone. I'm Dr. Hare from South Carolina. But what I'm looking for in a mentee for the most part is for you to have self-motivation. There is a part of your own journey where you have to take ownership. And of course, as a mentor, we are here to help coach you. We are here to be here for you as much as we can. But to the core of it, you definitely have to have a spark in you to begin with. And as a mentor, we can certainly foster that spark as well. But yeah, dig deep and really figure out what your professional purpose is long term. Have it made up in your mind that this is what you want to do and you won't give up along this process, and really be passionate. Be passionate about what you want to do and be clear about what you want to do when it comes to your goals as well. But those are the main things that I look for in a mentee.
Love it. Love it. All right, Jaylon, I'm coming back to you, but I didn't forget about you. All right. So for you, this is something that me and you actually just spoke about maybe a couple hours ago. In your position, you're a 3rd-year dental student. Everyone's looking at you, man. They want you to come work for them. And let's say you have a mentor, but you're not going to be able to actually go work for that mentor. How do you have those conversations with that mentor that may be thinking they're setting something up for you and you're not really ready to go in that direction yet? How do you have that conversation?
I think it really just boils down to trust. I think at the end of the day, my mentor is going to set me up in the best position possible. But at the end of the day, like, it's my life, you know what I'm saying? I know like what's kind of best for me in the moment. If anything, I would want my mentor in this specific situation to kind of just understand, the conversation I would have. This is something that, I really want to step out and do. And I just want my mentor kind of just give me words of advice and let me know the pros and the cons of that, instead of just telling me all of the cons and wanting me to just focus on what he think is best for me. That's what I would do in that situation.
Love it. Perfectly answered.
And also, can I just touch on, I forgot, I didn't get to touch on it earlier about the overcoming the mentoring challenges. I just want to tell a quick story. So me and one of my friends were actually talking about this maybe like a couple months ago. And, I love mentoring, I love mentorship. And I was kind of complaining about like a mentor I had who wasn't responding. And he was like, bro, you got to be patient. He was like, you an alpha. You should know not to quit. You can wait and not be tired about waiting. Giving me the whole little spiel. I was like, all right, bro. And he was like, he had a mentor who he was trying to reach out to for like 3-4 months. They didn't respond. He said on like fifth try, he reached out and the mentor was like, I'm so sorry, I was busy. And they had a conversation about, his nonprofit. And based on that conversation, the mentor said, hey, I apologize. I want to give you $100,000 grant for your nonprofit to make sure you continue to do the work in the community. And, that just speaks to the power of like perseverance and also not giving up. So although, your mentor or mentee may not be answering, give people grace, because at the end of the day, life does not revolve around you. People are busy. So make sure at the end of the day, you're making yourself available and continuing to go that extra mile to really get what you want. Yeah, I wanted to say that.
Oh man, look at you, boy. I can't skip over you ever again. I apologize. I wanted to try to get around the room. But that's an amazing story, Doc. I love that. Ashley, looking at you. You know how you have mentees who don't always listen, right? I'm not going to tell the story. I'm going to let you tell the story. But sometimes mentees go left when you tell them to go right. And it's because we've been down those roads ourselves. And we're watching you go left, and I'm telling you go right. Ashley, as that mentee, when you go left, what is going through your mind in those moments?
Everything. That's why I went left. But honestly, I feel like I think sometimes we think that we can do it all. And in reality, sometimes we can't do it all. And I took on too much at one time. And then I thought I was going to be able to succeed. And my mentor told me, don't turn left. And I still turned left. And it was a pricey lesson. I'll leave it as that. So when they say turn right, just turn right. Don't go left.
And again, it is your life. And we'll sit there with popcorn in our hand, watching you make that mistake. But sometimes we want to save you a little bit of money, right, Ashley? And so when we say go left, okay? Or go right when we say go right. But
No, don't go left, go right.
Always go right.
Always go right.
Asha, get on one of your stories. Perseverance, my love. You have perseverance like nobody's business. Can you tell the group, if you don't mind, your story about getting into dental school and how you always persevere?
Yes. So I had a very, very long journey to dental school. And I just saw my original mentor that actually put me on to Dr. Golden. Ashley Reed is on here. Shout out my girl, my soror. And I always like to keep it transparent, because I think in this journey, people will tell you certain scores and all these things. So I'm just going to keep it 100. I walked into that DAT first time, barely studied, got a 13. Okay. Walked out probably not going to work. And at the time, my best friend was at his second year at Howard, and I didn't even talk to him for 2 days because I was just so embarrassed to even tell him, I'm not getting into dental school, all these things. And I was just so stressed. It's the pandemic. And I had done everything that I needed to with dental experience. I had done SPEP, I did research, I did everything you could think of, shadowing, everything like that. And my GPA was okay, but my DAT, obviously, no school was letting me get in with that. But I was reading some student docs, and there was 2 or 3 people I got a 14. So I'm maybe. And I call Ashley, she's like, girl, no. Okay. And I was like, well, maybe I have to do a master's or something. And she's like, you also don't have to do a master's. You have everything else. Just focus on your DAT. Go hard for this next year. That's one battle you have to overcome. So I really spent the next 2 years, and I took 2 years off. At first I said 1 because I wanted a break. But then I was like, all right, 2 years, and I worked as a DA. So I started in peds working through the pandemic, and then I moved to general dentistry. And I learned so much, I think, to this day, if I didn't have those 2 years, because, some of us in dentistry are 4.0 type A. I'm type A work ethic, not really studying as much. As still, I'm getting on my high horse with that, because you have no choice in dental school. But yeah, I think eventually, and I only ended up getting a 17 on my DAT overall. And I'm class president. I'm the first Black class president at my school. I'm president of another organization. I'm in 1 million clubs. I'm in my 3rd year. So clearly I made it, so it's bigger than your scores. I will say I had a lot of dental experience. I met a lot of people. I would call admissions. You know, at USC, I was just lucky that they really cared a lot about your personality holistically and your experience. So I reached out like, hey, this is my story. Can I get in? You know, and found the right people. So be persistent in like believing your superpower. I think people will tell you that you have to have this DAT score, you have to have this GPA and this experience, and that's it. Like, that's not true. Like, you would be surprised how many of your classmates have 24s and how many have 16s and 17s. And some people have 2 5s in dental school because it's hard. And some people have 4.0s, you know? So it's just about what you bring to the table. It's not about what everyone tells you besides your mentors. You know, they're going to guide you in the right way. But that's why it's important to have a good mentor that'll tell you like, all right, you may not be the best at DAT, but girl, you better be dental assistant. You better be, you know, doing something else to make up for it. So yeah, believe in yourself. It's not just here, all this stuff on paper. And I got C's, I got 2 D's even in undergrad. I had to retake classes. I'm here. So, you know, it'll work out as long as you stay focused on the end goal.
So it just goes to show you that everyone doesn't need to be the 4.0 student. We're all brilliant to be in this room in the first place. But it's important to have personality. It's so many things that make up that perfect applicant. And for Asha's perseverance, that proves to me that we can all be great. She's running USC. Like, she's humbly bragging right now, but she runs USC. They have her in every magazine, all in the videos, all in everything. Meanwhile, she told you what her original DAT score was. So if you can go from that to where she is now, anything is possible. And then that goes for my person that was in the chat that wrote, if you have any advice for the DAT, that's my advice to you for the DAT. Hit her up. You can be afraid to, you know, take your test and you might be pushing it back, but you can take that test and dominate and do better and be great. Dr. Highshaw, saw you raise your hand.
Oh, thanks, Dr. Golden. And student Dr. Asha, thank you so much for sharing that. I think that is going to just really motivate so many of our pre-dental students. But I wanted to piggyback on something you mentioned about, you know, you speaking to like the admissions. I don't know who it was, if it was dean of students at admissions office. But I just want to say from our interactions with the dental schools that we bring the summits to, they are always saying that they are really on your team as well. Like, they are always like rooting for you. So you've got to find the school you really want to go to, and you have to get them to know you. Like, that's somewhere you might want to stop off and bring some treats and a handwritten note. Let them know what, you know, not only, you know, what you want from their school, but what you can add to their school. I mean, look at what Asha's doing. She's doing so much for them. And so they saw that in her. But they will tell you what you need to do, right? They told you what you needed to work on. So they will give you the blueprint. So just remember that. Don't be scared. I guess the main thing is don't be scared of it. Don't shy away from getting them to know you, because when the applications come through, then they can put a face and a name with that application, and it makes all the difference.
And then that makes me want to piggyback to the fact that you should apply early. A lot of you get caught up in the situation of, oh, my application's not done, I haven't taken the DAT. Man, finish that application, press that button. That allows you the opportunity to get to know these different schools. And if you find a school that clicks, that likes you, and they'll tell you, hey, you need to do your DAT over. Hey, you need to do one other thing over. They're rooting for you. You applied early. They want to get you in. There's something about your application that speaks to them. Don't let that one piece of your application hold you back. And then now you apply it late. You know, I'm not, you know, talking to anybody in this room, but you apply late and then they only have 2 seats left. What are they going to do if they only have 2 seats left? And now everybody's fighting for those 2 seats and they can't help out that student that truly deserves to go there. Apply early and then let them tell you what they want from you, because ultimately you have a great application. You just need a little help, and that's what they're here for. All right, questions. Make sure you put your questions in there. I'm going to ask my panel one more question.
There's a few questions. Luma, do you want to do the questions? I see a few that have come up there pretty good.
I will start from the bottom. From Brittany Dean. Will you suggest sending occasional follow-up emails just to check in and let the admissions committee know what you have going on? Yes.
I can kind of, and so when I first took my DAT and did really bad, I did email every school I was applying to. And honestly, most of them reached back like small letter, like need to do better on DAT, but still, I knew that's the answer I was getting. I sent a paragraph, like I've been working through the pandemic, I've been doing this, I did this, like telling them my whole life story. And only USC reached out and said, and again, it was like a month later. That's why persistence is important. But I reached out right at the end of the cycle I was intending to apply. So it didn't seem like right in the beginning when probably everybody's emailing them like, what can I do? What can I do? So it was like that kind of dead period. So applying early and emailing early too, and making those connections. Like if apps open in June, don't email in June, like email in like February while the cycle before is still going on and say, hey, I'm really interested in your school. Can we get some time to talk? If you're there in person, go in person. Like people come to USC all the time and talk to Corey. And, I was lucky to meet Corey. To this day, that's my boy, in admissions, because he just talked to me and was like, all right, this is your stage. Like you got 15 minutes, figure it out, so don't be intimidated by admissions, because that is their goal, to get you into the school. And him telling me that I had the personality to go to USC, I was like, okay, I'm beating this DAT, that's all I needed for the next year to confirm that I was going in my mind. And I got lucky. So definitely email all the schools that you're interested in and do it in a timely manner, and, be professional, but also be personable.
Anyone have anything to add?
Oh, I have something. Jaylon, so when we have our mentors, we network. We meet different people just alone. At the NDA conference, SDA conference, I introduced you to a lot of people. You introduced me to a lot of people. Can you talk about how in mentorship we grow our network?
Yeah. I love to say, people always say your net worth is your net worth. I like to say, what I'm saying, I feel like it's not about what you know or who you know, it's about who knows you when you're not in the room. So, regardless of, if Dr. Golden is around me, I'm gonna always speak highly of him and tell people like, hey, this is somebody who put me on to XYZ, and I know he's gonna do the same thing for me. I think the key to it is to make sure I can forward it. The key is basically, just to make sure you're putting yourself out there. Don't be afraid to go up and meet new people. Because at the end of the day, like we all have a similar goal, and that's to get to where we want to be. I think I answered your question, did I?
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. And then someone I'll use again, Jaylon, as an example. One of my former dental assistants, Walea, who's actually in this chat, went up to Tufts and gravitated straight towards Jaylon. And she actually didn't know at that point I had already started mentoring you, but your personalities linked up, and it was a perfect match to see you helping her. And that kind of took things to a next level. Well, Leia, are you available to say something? I know you're typing in the chat, running around, doing things. I would love to hear your feedback. I think she said she was at the gym. I'll be nice to her today.
It might be a little loud. I'm here.
Say something.
Hey. Hi, everyone.
Hi, Walea.
Nice to meet you guys.
She's the sweetest thing. But working very hard right now, and hopefully we'll get her in dental school in the next 2 years. She's finishing up some classes at FIU, which is down here in South Florida. Ashley, as we start to wrap this up, what's some advice you would say to that person that's on the edge, trying to find that mentor, but just not brave enough to speak out? What would you like to say to that person?
I would probably say, like, even right now, if you're on the webinar right now, like, definitely reach out. You have 2 student doctors on here that are trailblazers right now, that we see them. So you have those 2 people to reach out to. But just don't be afraid. Like, don't be afraid. You never know what that door can do. Like, that door can open up multiple doors for you. But yeah, if your goal is dentistry and that's what's in your heart and you feel that and you know that, don't give up on that dream. Like, don't give up on that goal. You have a whole support system, including diversity in dentistry, that's willing to support you. And then you have a lot of us that's on this call right now that's willing to support you. And to be honest, I was once that person that was on the fence of like, am I smart enough? Like, can I do it? But you have to get rid of that self-doubt, like take away that negativity and really just speak positivity, do words of affirmation, and just remind yourself you are going to be that doctor. It may not be tomorrow, it may not be next year, but if you have perseverance, you'll get through it and you'll make it to the end.
Love it. Speaking of perseverance, Asha, what would you like to say to the students in regards to mentorship and why it matters?
I think like anything in life, and especially in the minority community, you know, only 3% of us are doctors, and it's important to have somebody in a field that feels overwhelming in many different ways that is going to look out for you, support you, and push you. And I think I saw it on Instagram earlier that was like, why try to do something yourself that someone's already figured out? You know, why take the road less traveled? Because everybody else has got mentors and connections. They got the, you know, families paying them to get into dental school, you know, so like, why not take somebody who is going to look out for you and push you in the right direction and support you? And you never know what type of benefits could come out of that. And I think like when you believe in yourself and you manifest what your future looks like and you believe that you are your strongest superpower, you will attract people who also believe that in mentorship. So, you know, just always believe in yourself, stay off of Student Doc Network unless you just want to, you know, have those days. Like I said, I was geeked over the girl that got into dental school with the 14, you know, but that's like 1 in a million posts. So, you know, just stay true to yourself and also just attract, like you would your friends and everything else, people that have your best interest, because when you have a solid team, you really can get through anything.
Love it. Dr. Highshaw, we got up to 52% participants, currently sitting at 50. Told you to get to that goal. Woo, that's nice.
You spoke it to existence. I wasn't surprised. Not with this lineup.
Jaylon, I want you to go ahead and tell us that story that me and you were talking about. You want to tell them that's your story?
Of course.
Go for it.
I'm very transparent, y'all. So when I first wanted to go into dentistry, I was pre-medicine and I switched my senior year, actually the summer going into my senior year, I switched to dentistry. I was not prepared to take the DAT. Like Asha said, I just kind of went in there and was like, bro, I know what I'm doing. I can take this exam. No, I did not prepare. I got a 14. I was one of those people. That's the first time I've ever really failed anything. And I remember I called my mom. I'm not even a crier, but I was like, Mom, I'm breaking down. Like, I'm not gonna be a dentist. I don't know what I'm gonna do. She was like, "Boy, if you don't pick your head up, we've been through worse than this. Like, you know you're gonna be a dentist. Lock in." I said, "All right, cool." Basically from there, I did a master's program at Berry, and while I was working at Berry, something I also highly disadvise is don't overextend yourself. So I was studying for the DAT. I was working as a dental assistant. I also had a full-time job, and I was doing research at Morehouse School of Medicine. 4 things when I should have just been focused on one. I retook the DAT and I got a 16, which wasn't my goal. I wanted to get an 18. Luckily, like I said, I was doing a master's program at Berry, and once I graduated, I got that one yes. I got denied from 10 schools. My 11th school was Tufts, which was my number one. And I got that one yes. So I want to tell all y'all, like, all you need is one yes. And I remember I prayed that summer because I was worried. I'm like, my boy Darius, he's in here right now. Like, I would call Darius like, bro, I don't think I'm gonna do it. He never let me feel discouraged. Like, have a solid support too. He never let me feel discouraged. And I prayed to God and I said, God, if it's for me, it's for me. If not, I know you'll align me with where I'm supposed to be. And I let it go. I let God. And literally, I got accepted. And I said, all you have to do is just open the door a little bit. I'm gonna kick it down. I got accepted a week before school started. I had to pack my life up and drive from Atlanta, Georgia to Boston. And literally, I started school that next week. I got elected the class president of my class. I've been the class president for the last 3 years. I'm the second Black male president in Tufts history. And I'm gonna take it all the way to graduation, but I like to tell this story because sometimes it's hard to see like where the future is when you're struggling in that moment. And the thing I love about this call is to have mentors like Dr. Golden or my mentor who even put me onto dentistry, because I look at mentorship like they're like the anchor when you're playing tug of war, right? I'm sitting here and I'm letting life kind of pull me closer to the middle, but your mentor is the person who's gonna help you pull on all of the doubt, all of the self-doubt, all of the imposter syndrome, and they make sure you really get to where you want to be. So that's my little life story. I'm at Tufts now. If y'all don't know, I go by student Dr. J. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok at JAYNOZ. I would love to, be whoever is mentor. I love to pass the torch and make sure I do the right thing. So that's my story.
Boom. I hope you enjoyed my mentees. All of them are extremely special in all their different ways. It is a pleasure to moderate you guys and bring you before the world. You're already doing amazing things right now. I just love to hear these stories, and I know there are so many more stories to come. So again, Dr. Highshaw, thank you for having me as your moderator. And then my panelists, thank you for being awesome. Looking forward to seeing all you guys in person before this year ends, so we can all kick it, hang out together, and make more memories. So thank you so much, Dr. Highshaw. I hand this back over to you.
Oh, thank you, everybody. I mean, we're just all wowed. And I know there were some questions we didn't get to. What we'll do here is save the chat. You registered, we have your email. We can send the recording link along with the questions to our panelists. Maybe we can ask if they could take a look at those and we could provide some answers. You just want to be respectful of everyone's time. But thank you. Thank you not only for just spending your time with us, but for just being so transparent, so vulnerable. And it just really does fill everyone up with hope. I mean, we really are wanting, that's the heart of our nonprofit, is just inspiring hope through mentorship. And I love what you said. You have all sorts of different mentors. And me being in private practice for over 20 years, I still have mentors. You have mentors throughout your life, and you can have more than one. And I will want to say something. We talked about that 3.8% of Black dentists. So there's not a whole lot of dentists that can mentor. And so we find ourselves, it's that tax of having to mentor so many. And I want everyone here to just be open to having a mentor who does not look like you. Because let me tell you, it's all about expanding your network through their network. I cannot tell you how many people I've been able to help that, not from my background, but they are tapping into me because they know where that can help. And we don't want to be inauthentic with it, but just be open to it. I hope that resonates and everyone understands where I'm coming from. And you can have more than one. So I wanted to do that. And I wanted to also say, since we were talking about mentorship, remember this is a mutual beneficial relationship. It's symbiotic. You can't always just take and take from your mentor. If you want to have a strong, long-lasting mentorship that turns into a friendship, as Luma is for me, my mentee, who is my friendtor, my friendee. I'm her friendtor because she was my mentee, but she saw where I needed help in this nonprofit. She had nonprofit experience and she gave into it. And now she's the vice president of the board and got into her dental school. So I just want to say, look for ways that you can give into the relationship, just in any parts of your life. So I don't want to stay on too much longer, but I really definitely wanted to have a chance to say that. And Luma, I think you have a number for our mentees. And can you also explain if they're
Yes, let
looking for a
me,
mentor, what we're
sure, let
the
me go
cycle
ahead
we
and
are
get
with
that.
the mentor matching?
Sure.
Really?
So, thank you all so much, amazing moderator. When do we have you back? Pick a date, or should I give you the date? Just kidding. Thank you all so much. I really, really appreciate it. I'm sure the mentees appreciate it as well. So I am posting this. I will have Dr. Golden choose a number, any number from 20 to 30.
20
Any
to
number.
30?
Yes.
28.
28. So the code for today is 28. And let me go ahead and post the link for attendance. Just give me one moment. Why does it not have Drive? Give me
For
one
those who
moment.
aren't in our mentee cohort right now, can you explain so they know what they can, how this works for next cycle?
So we do have a cohort that we had a cohort. However, with it being summer break and everything, I really do know a lot of you all have been asking, but we are getting to the matching. It's just taking a little longer than we would like. We will match everybody as we are able to. However, by participating in events like this, it will help you. That way, even if you're not assigned a one-on-one mentor, as Dr. Golden likes to say, you have the opportunity to interact. So the attendance form, we starting 3 months ago, we do have a scholarship. We are giving $500 every month to one dental student and one pre-dental student. And attendance is one of the factors that we take into account. So it is important to fill out the attendance form. It is important to apply as well. And also this month for our programming, our next program is on the 17th. We are going to be talking with a locums dentist to see what that is about. So if you are available, please join. Okay, there it is. One moment, let me go ahead and post the form. So this is the attendance form. The attendance number for today is 28. But do join us on the 17th. So we have a webinar every first Wednesday of the month and a mixer every third Saturday of the month. The process of navigating the application of dental school, it can be very lonely, especially for people like us, and it can be very frustrating at times. So programs like these are helpful. So every first Wednesday and every third Saturday, we have something. The mixers are more towards our dental students. That way you can see what life can be like after. And then the webinars are for everybody. Not saying that you should choose one. Do try to attend both because it's important. For me personally, mentorship is very important. Dr. Haisha has highlighted everything. You need a mentor in every field of your life, every single one, be it spiritual, be it educational, just in life itself. A lot of you all have shared that you watch Dr. Hayes' channel. Dr. Hayes, can you please just post your YouTube channel again? That way everyone has access to it, because I don't think everyone saw that. But people like him, or people like Dr. Golden, they really do highlight the importance of mentorship and how you can benefit from it. So please do take advantage of that. That's all I have.
Okay. All right. Well, student Dr. Green, student Dr. Johnson, Dr. Lynn, and Dr. Golden, thank you so much for letting everyone know that we did it, so can they. So thank you so much, everyone. Have a great evening.
Good night.
Thank you all.